think about the generations and to say we want to make it a better place for our children and our children's children, so that they know it's a better world for them.
Magazines, TV, everything you look and see, you have to be beautiful. What do you think of that?
Units in front of me walking, and all of a sudden, a fight broke out. It was mayhem.
Trying to run them games on him. He's immune to Cupid. Why you trying to put your claims on him? Cause you ain't good to me. That's how it's supposed to be. Living young and wild and free. I see the change, I see the message, and no message could have been any clearer. So I'm starting with the man and the mirror on the wall. MJ taught me that. Here we are again.
Listen to me. You're beautiful, you're amazing. Don't let anyone tell you you're not.
Stop. Stop listening to the media and stop making excuses. Look what's in front of you. Look at the details, the facts of the decision you're trying to make. Facts don't include other people's opinions. They're opinions, not facts. That's the whole point. Pay attention to what you believe in and what God's trying to tell you. Because if you dig a little deeper, if you push aside all of the unnecessary comments and opinions and criticisms from the media and all of the bad side, then you'll have room to listen to the good side that's telling you how to make these decisions. It's not hard. You're only making it harder for yourself by not stopping and listening. I think the best part about being human is having free will and intellect. You know, what's up here, what's in here, what's all up in here that God gave you. He spent a lot of time and thought making each one of us. We all have that opportunity, that free will, to make any decision we want. That free will allows you to look for alternatives from what the bad side's trying to give you. Because not everything is feeling good. It's being good, not just feeling it. It's more than that. Because sometimes that feeling of goodness doesn't last. Because probably your action wasn't a good action, which is why it didn't last. Also, to make a good decision, you have to stop and think of consequences. If you rush into things, you won't have time to think about it, to examine all of the dimensions of the problem, of your dilemma, of the hard decision you have to make. Also, making a decision doesn't just involve you, but it also involves everyone around you, your family, your friends. If you think about the people you love, it's easier to make the right decision because you wouldn't want to hurt the people you love. And the people you love wouldn't want to see you get hurt. So why would you make the bad decision if it not only hurts you, but it hurts other people around you? Hurt you, hurt them, hurt everyone. Just make the right decision. And last is just pray. After you've gone to your friends, trusted adult, teacher, or maybe even a priest, and you're still unsure about your decision, the best place to go is God. He doesn't have to be your last resort, but I think he's the best option, the best person to consult. Because he, of all the people on the earth, he has your best interest at
I never find the guy, so be it. Like Dolly Parton said, I refuse to settle for something less than great, and if it takes a lifetime, then that is how long I will wait, and that is true.
I wanted to start this vlog, I guess, because I felt that like we changed too quickly as we grew up. So I wanted to kind of keep this as a sort of reminder, like as what I thought when I was 16. So the other day, I was babysitting this kid, and at school, they were talking to him about what's truth and what's a lie. And when he asked me, he wanted to know what it meant, and I didn't really know what to tell him. I mean, he said, what's a truth and what's a lie? And I said, well, a lie is something that's made up, and the truth is what it is. And then he said, well, then why do people ever lie? And the only thing that I could actually come up with was that because people are scared of the truth. But as we grow older, I don't see why we're so scared. I mean, yeah, I understand that, like, sometimes it's not easy to tell the truth, but I feel like the world is a better place when people try to be honest with each other. Because how could you build anything? How could you have happiness when everything around you is just based on deception? Happiness isn't achieved when we lie and we just make stuff up. It's achieved when we try to be honest with each other, when we try to be the best that we could be. How could we ever build something that's good and something that's true if we do something that goes against our conscience, if we just make stuff up because we want to avoid something that's true?
Today I want to talk about things that matter. I'm not sure if you guys are aware, but our generation is living a life totally upside down. We're being governed by our passions, and we're living lives sexually dishonest, and that's really not okay. I think it all stems from the media and shows like Jersey Shore. They kind of tell teens that it's okay if you want to sleep around, and it's okay if you want to party and be reckless and do you, and in actuality, that's not okay. Because by doing those things and acting so recklessly, we're not living in accordance to our human nature, and we're not respecting our hylomorphic composition. And I know most of you guys don't know what hylomorphic means, so it's basically just an inextricable unity of body and soul, and that's what we all are. And when we don't honor the fact that we're both made up of soul and body, we're not acting and we're not being our true selves. We aren't acting with virtue, and virtue is basically key if we want to be happy. Because I know most of you go to sleep at night and wake up and you ask yourselves, am I really happy? And you can't answer the question with a yes because you know that you're not. And the reason why you're not is because you're living lives like this. You're not living lives with prudence or temperance or kind of just doing whatever you want to do. And that's not the way to live. I know most of you don't want to hear about it, but freedom is really found when you seek God. And a lot of people wouldn't define freedom that way, but that's the way freedom is really defined, you know? And I think more people need to hear that. More people need to realize their worth, and they need to learn about eros and agape. I mean, I go to a school where we learn ethics, and it's mandatory, but it's not something that's hard to understand. When someone sits you down and explains you the way things are and how you should be acting, it's really not that hard to understand, but it's conflicting because the media tells us differently. I think if everyone learned what I learned in my ethics class, people would have a better understanding of what happiness is and what freedom is. I know my teacher made us read Deus Cartius S, and, you know, next time you want to read Teen Vogue, I suggest you pick it up instead, you know. It's written by Benedict, my boy Benedict, what up? He really knows what he's talking about. It's kind of like love and its misuse, and like eros and agape, and like, basically eros is kind of just like your passions and how you're so driven by your passion. But, you know, that could be tamed and that could be disciplined. And then when it finally gets disciplined and purified, it becomes agape. I really don't want to, like, sit here and preach to you guys. I kind of just want to help you understand that the way you're living isn't the way you're supposed to be living. It's not what is intended for you. It's not what God intended for you. You're made to be so much more, you know? You're born for higher things. And I know most of us don't want to hear it, but the fact that it's coming from a fellow teen, I think you should guys take the time and hear me out and actually listen to it, you know? It's sad because if our media showed values, then girls would have more respect and learn that they're beautiful. I think it's sad. I think it's time that people listen to the truth because the truth will set you free.
So when negativity surrounds